Welcome to Let's Talk Chiropractic. I'm Liz Tolan, your host. I'm joined by Dr. John Degenhardt. And we don't have Dr. Stacy Sando with us today. We've given her a well-deserved break.
She's working on her suntan.
On her suntan and spending some well-deserved time with her family.
She is.
So we're going to try to hold down the fort today.
Yep.
And we are joined by Diane Searles, who is going to talk to our viewers today about an accident that you had a long time ago that kind of came back to haunt you. Diane, tell us about your initial injury.
Well, I was 16 and I was the passenger in a car, and we hit somebody head on, and my head did crash into the windshield.
Oh my.
And my chin, I believe, hit the dash as well. But I had major foot problems, so I think that's where it was mostly focused on after the accident. So I didn't have very much pain in my neck or anything. So it was probably many years after that I went to school and became a dental hygienist, and I started to have some problems with my neck. Some pain here and there, and I sought out different kind of treatments. I went to a couple chiropractors who were never very gentle. It was kind of, a quick jolt here or there. And I had some massages. I tried different ways of sitting, other different modalities. But then I started to have a lot of pain out of nowhere. So I went to see a doctor who referred me to a surgeon.
Okay.
So, of course, I had tests on MRIs and CAT scans, and I had herniated disc. So I did not want to do surgery. So I chose pain management, where I tried some steroid injections, which didn't help too much for a short period of time. Pain medication, went down that route, which I did not like. So, I was taking way too much pain medication and still not feeling well. And I didn't want to do that. So then it's when I had surgery.
Well, Diane, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back after the break, I want to revisit the injections with you, Dr. John, how they work and why they didn't work in this case.
Okay.
And then we'll tell our viewers about your surgery and your finding Dr. John and getting some relief. You're watching Let's Talk Chiropractic. We're back to you right after the break. Stay with us.
You can start your day with a round of golf or just enjoy the sheer beauty of living on a golf course. At Sand Springs Golf Course Community, the popular patio homes offer a lifestyle of one-floor living, which hundreds of buyers have discovered. Pricing on these outstanding homes begins at $199.9. Sand Springs is currently celebrating their 10th anniversary. Finish your day with a relaxing meal at the Sand Springs Clubhouse. The model home is open daily, or visit our website for more information.
Doctors and patients agree. The Hazleton Health and Wellness Center is our area's most technologically advanced imaging center, providing the ultimate in patient relaxation and comfort. From allowing a family member to sit with you during your MRI to delivering the lowest CT radiation dose possible, our registered MRI and CT technologists are unrivaled in their professionalism and consideration for your personal needs. For your next MRI or CT, make sure you choose the Wellness Center experience.
During these changing times, is your insurance program up to date? I'm local Allstate agent Gary McNeilis. I invite you to come into our office or give us a call. We'll help you be sure that you have the proper coverage to take care of all your family's needs at a price you can afford. Now more than ever, you need to be in good hands to protect everything that's important to you. Our team of insurance professionals and I will be honored to serve you. Are you in good hands?
Welcome back to Let's Talk Chiropractic. We're joined today by Diane, and Diane was telling us before the break, as a very young woman, at the age of 16, you were in a very traumatic car accident, had some other injuries that took precedence as far as the attention of the physicians at the time. You had some injuries with your foot, not so much your neck.
At that time, no.
At that time, chose an occupation as a dental hygienist, and then slowly started to have some pain in your neck. Now, before we went on break, you were telling us that you had some injections done, worked for a little bit of time, but wasn't a sustainable treatment. Dr. John, what are those injections and what are they meant to do?
the two local guys, and they're friends of mine. It's Tom Hanlon and Terry Duffy. They're pain management anesthesiologist guys where they look at an x-ray. They usually put the patient on an x-ray table and they look at the MRI and they can see the needle. Their objective is to go to the epidural space, it's called, where they want to inject a steroid that encapsulates the disc.
Okay.
So the prayer of the steroid is to reduce the swelling of the discs, taking pressure off the nerves. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. So I have referred patients to both doctors when sometimes even my care, there's just so much damage. So a lot of people try that first because the last option is always surgery. You hear what she said? She was afraid of surgery, so she tried the shots, hoping to prevent the surgery.
Okay, and how long did that relief last?
The first one, maybe a week.
A week.
Second one, maybe a week. So that was disappointing
I'll bet.
when that pain comes back.
So we were talking during the break too, that pain's always there.
Yes.
And it's even if you
try
try
so
hard to move around it and to just live your life around it,
Sure.
it's always there.
And you have to function. I had to work. I didn't take the pain medication. So you try, and I learned to live with it for a while because I knew the other option was surgery. So unfortunately, pain won. So I did have surgery, and I had a discectomy at C6, C7, which took a lot of pain for me to go there. But I felt I had no choice. I felt like I was in a corner, and that was the only way out. So I had the surgery, and thank goodness, I picked a good surgeon, and that pain was gone. However, I went back to work, not long after that, and I had a heck of a time with muscle spasms. Terrible muscle spasms preceded that, which to no avail. I couldn't seem to find relief, and I don't think I wanted to admit to that. I wanted everything to be good.
Surgery.
Yes.
You went through it, you were brave, you went through with the surgery,
Yes.
which took a lot.
Yeah, yes. So I didn't want to admit to that. So I tried to ignore that for a while too. Unfortunately, that took over. So I knew I needed to find some kind of treatment for that. So my son and my husband come to see Dr. John. And, my husband would come home and he'd say, you should really go to see him. He's very gentle. And I knew he was gentle with my son. He's, 14 and my son loves him.
Yeah.
So I would think, I don't know, because after my surgery, I became very fearful of anybody coming even close to me around my neck. I was afraid it was going to cause some kind of, if they would fall or I would fall, that something was going to happen to my neck. It was a lot mentally.
What is that procedure that she had, a discectomy? What is that?
Ectomy means the removal of. So whatever, they look at the MRI, whatever part was herniated, they can either go through the front or the back.
The front.
Yeah, so they go through the front. They usually try to go around a wrinkle line, they call it. So, but they literally go out and snip or remove the part of the disc that is herniated. So they leave a part that's in there, Liz. Chiropractically, it was needed at the time, but it causes the other discs to work that much harder. And sometimes those patients, 5 or 10 years later, need more surgery. So our prayer is by getting it in alignment, maybe we could prevent further surgeries for her.
Release some of the stress
Right.
on that system. That's a major surgery.
Yes.
So it did take a lot of courage, and I can understand how you'd be
Knowing things, yes, it took
a
an
little
awful
bit
lot.
timid about allowing anyone to do anything to your neck after that. So your husband and your son, patients of Dr. Dagenhart, know that you're suffering, that you're in pain. You love your job, you love what you do, and as a dental hygienist too, I guess, there's not really many ways that you can do that job. You kind of have to position yourself
look
in a
down.
certain way. You have to
There's
look
certain
down.
times you can't put people back. You have to look this way. You have to look that way. And I was a lot of it was me too. I didn't want to move my neck, but I felt that muscle strain. I thought I was going to have to live that way. It was just going to be like that.
What made you change your mind about going in and seeing Dr. John?
Well, my husband was trying to patiently persuade me. And in the meantime, I happened to see a show. And you were talking about people who have had prior neck surgery, how you can still treat them. And I thought, well, okay. So that sat with me for a while, maybe another week or two, till I thought, you know what, this is crazy. Just call them up and go.
That's great.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first meeting with Diane?
Yeah, and as she stated, I thank God for this show. I mean, I think this show allows people to sit in the comfort of their home, She listened to her husband's advice, listened to them. It sank a little bit until finally she took action. But it's like we talked about. So I listened intently like a detective. Surgery, multiple discs. So I said to her, we're not going to crack the neck. We're going to start very gently to realign the vertebrae, to take pressure off whatever disc is there. Like I said earlier, Liz, she was progressing slightly, from what I remember.
Yes, but you did listen. That was the key. You truly did listen and cared about how I felt. You truly did that. And then you explained to me. Didn't just you explained to me what I needed to have done. So when you asked me if you could, you know, crack my neck, that it needed it, when you explained to me why, I had no reason not to.
Takes away that fear of not knowing what's going to happen next.
I knew I wasn't going to get better until I let him.
I love helping. She's a beautiful person. I love helping people like her. Her husband and son even said she's easier to live with. You know, since she has
I'm
less.
sure it's hard to live with pain.
Sure. What can you mean, Liz? I want so much to help her, and I hate to hear these stories when patients will say, "My other chiropractor years ago never explained anything to me. He snuck up from behind, cracked me, and scared the living daylights out of me." So I listened to those stories. I said, I don't want her to go through that again. So I gave her the option. She wasn't healing as good as I wanted her to. So I said the surgery was lower. I could safely and gently twist the upper neck, which will indirectly, like a domino effect, take the tension out of this knife that she had in her neck. So you could see her thinking about it, and think like she just, I guess she appreciated.
2 visits.
You got to that point.
Yeah, I said, you think about it. And so it was a mutual kind of a thing. But she came back, she said, I thought about it. If you think it's going to get me better results, let's try it. And to me, it's a beautiful thing, Liz, when you get that, you know, where the bones shift. It's almost like you could hear her mind thinking, thank God, I'm not dead.
Right, and my neck is still in one piece. Yeah, that got me through a lot. You just
But
doing
without that communication, Liz, then that's when she really started to improve. Her husband came in like a week later. He was like, I don't believe she allowed you to crack her neck.
It must have been such a relief for you to get past that
It
point in your
was.
treatment and realize I can do this, and now I'm going to be able to make some progress.
And it really was. The muscles in my neck, it was amazing how much better I felt within a week. Because when I came back, I was afraid to even say it. He was like, well, how you doing? And I was like, oh, I'm doing better.
How about it? Well, when we come back after the break, we're going to talk about how you continued your treatment and how you are today. You look wonderful, and you look like you've got great range of motion. So when we come back after the break, you can tell us about what followed that treatment. You're watching Let's Talk Chiropractic only on WYLN. Stay with us. We're back after the break.
A reminder from Fairway Subaru, when life hands you a curve, hug it. Enjoy convenient service hours and payments as low as $239 a month with 0 down and 0 security deposit when you lease a new 2012 Subaru Legacy 2.5i CVT model code CAB11. Come down to Fairway Subaru for a test drive.
Call General Rental Company for all your summer project and party needs. There's no cancellation fee, and their service is second to none. Bring them your written quote, and they'll beat it. Stop in today. That's General Rental Company, Rittenhouse Plaza in Drums.
Providence Place offers seniors a wealth of choices to stay independent and self-reliant, as well as support their desire to be part of a caring and active community. Their program of layered service levels provides choice and recognizes that sometimes short spans of illness or recuperation require additional support services. Their park-like setting and barrier-free design allow for easy movement and access throughout the facility. Beautifully appointed rooms, spacious grounds, hospitable common areas. Everything they do is based on providing the safe, comfortable living experience. Call them today for a tour of the facility.
We build tires, but not tires like anybody else. We build Cooper tires for people, not just cars. People who are chauffeurs and shuttle pilots.